stations in western Pennsylvania. And on the net with over 10 schools and hundreds of live and archived broadcasts at www.msasports.net. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the MSA Sports Network.
Welcome to exclusive coverage of the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Championships, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network. The high school hockey state finals at MSAsports.net are sponsored in part by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by ProGrass, by Dunkin' Donuts, by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by J&J Distributing, and by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League.
And we welcome you into the Pegula Ice Arena and a little place they call Hockey Valley, State College, Pennsylvania, as we bring you coverage of the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Championships here on the MSA Sports Network. Class A gets it started. 3 games today, all of them on the MSA Sports Network, to decide state champions. Class A is first. Class AA comes your way next. Class AAA is the finale here today. And this matchup features the Franklin Regional Panthers, 19-6 out of the PIHL. They take on the Bayard-Rustin Golden Knights from the Eastern Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey Association. Bayard-Rustin 19-3-2 on the season, 19-6 for Franklin Regional. Alongside Sean Meyers, Bob Orkwis on the MSA Sports Network. Kevin Zomansky is along. He'll be involved in the next 2 broadcasts. Jess Levo is running the camera. So whether you're listening to the audio or watching the video, we appreciate it here on the MSA Sports Network. Sean, it's an interesting contrast between these 2 teams. Franklin Regional winning their first ever PIHL Penguins Cup championship. So that means obviously they're in their first ever state championship game, Sean. Not so for the Knights. They've been here, 2-time defending state champions.
Yeah, Bayard-Rustin, as you mentioned, champions in both 2015 and 14. They also were champions in 2009 as well for the Knights, and a team that knows what it takes to excel on this stage. On the other side, for Franklin Regional, the Panthers, they were a surprise team to win the Penguins Cup. Really, not a lot of people expected them to make a run, but they got some great goaltending along the way, and they had timely goal scoring. And certainly it's a team that deserves to be here in what was a very wide-open Class A. For the first time in a long time, pretty much every team in the playoffs had hopes. That had previously been Mars and Quaker Valley, pretty much alternating. Those 2 teams move up. Franklin Regional takes advantage. The Panthers win their first ever, but this is going to be a completely different environment here. A team they're not familiar with, and a team, as you mentioned, that certainly is very comfortable here at the Pegula Ice Arena. 3rd straight year for the Knights, and it's going to be a difficult test. I think it's very important Franklin Regional gets off to a good start.
Brian Kurtz is in his 3rd year as the head coach of Franklin Regional. Their run to the state championship featured a 3-0 win over Montour in the quarterfinals of the PIHL Class A playoffs. Franklin Regional then defeated Bishop McCourt 5-3, and then in the championship game, featuring 2 teams that were in 3rd place in their conferences during the regular season, a 4-1 victory over the South Lions. And you can't help but look at Franklin Regional, and you had a chance to do their championship game, Sean, and not look at the freshman goalkeeper, Danny Soltez.
He was terrific. He made 44 saves. He was the best player on the ice, and that's saying something because both the Franklin Regional Panthers and the South Fayette Lions had some very talented skaters. I love the job that Franklin Regional did defensively in front of Soltez, but ultimately the freshmen had to come up with some terrific saves, and quite frankly, that game could have gotten away from the Panthers early in both the first and second periods. The Lions were the better team, and they just got shot after shot. Finally, in the third period, the offense picked up for Franklin Regional. Nicholas Coretta got the hat trick, but it would have never been that situation for Coretta's heroics if not for the tremendous play by Soltez, who is the hot hand. He wasn't the go-to guy throughout the season. Nicholas Payon got the majority of the starts, but the head coach, Brian Kurtz, decided to play the hot hand, his freshman goaltender, and he's been rewarded with tremendous performances throughout the playoff season.
I know it's cliche, but they say, Sean, your best penalty killer is often your goaltender. Certainly was the case against South Fayette. 5-minute major in that second period where Soltez made 10 saves, and that pretty much could make the difference because it was 1-0 South Fayette at the time, and he made 10 big saves during that stretch.
Yeah, he was great, and players like Jordan Timmons on the other side for South Fayette have been lighting the lamp with regularity. In the playoffs, that was a team with the Lions that was an explosive offense, so holding them to 1 goal is a terrific accomplishment. And again, that's a team effort, but the last line of defense is your goaltender. However, we talked about this is an even bigger stage. This isn't the UPMC Lemieux complex out in Cranberry. This is the state title on the line at Penn State. Probably it's a safe bet that this is the first time that all of these Panthers have skated on this rink, except for maybe last night if they got the opportunity coming up early. But as we mentioned, it's bright lights here, and talking to Coach Zolmanski, not all players respond well. It's not that easy to come out here in this situation and play a Philadelphia opponent that's very experienced, very talented. That's why I think it's going to be very important at the get-go.
We're going to take a quick break, back with more of our pregame right after this. You're listening and watching the 2016 PIHL Pennsylvania State Championships here on the MSA Sports Network.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account, and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice Center, offering the most comprehensive instructional programs in the area, including hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes for all ages and ability levels. Classes start soon along with senior and developmental hockey leagues. Mount Lebanon Ice Center also hosts Friday night teen skates and Friday after-school skates for younger children. Birthday party packages also available. Mount Lebanon Ice Center, serving the South Hills for more than 35 years. Call 412-561-4363 or go to mountlebanon.org.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game-used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
Who says you can only enjoy breakfast in the morning? And who says you can only enjoy it one type of way? At Dunkin' Donuts, breakfast is delicious any kind of way, any time of day. A breakfast craving can strike any time, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Dunkin' has the perfect combination of breakfast deliciousness to satisfy any craving. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, ham, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. All your favorites anytime you want them. Stop by Dunkin' for breakfast anytime. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary.
Welcome back to the Pegula Ice Arena and Penn State University, the campus of Penn State here in Happy Valley State College, PA, with Sean Meyers, Bob Orkwis. Pregame of the Class A state championships featuring Franklin Regional and Bayard-Rustin. We're going to go physically and visually similarities between these two teams. How about the color scheme?
Yeah,
it's almost dead spot on for both of these teams in the blue and old gold.
Yeah, I don't know if they discussed that one beforehand, but I guess we're going to have to try our best to differentiate, and hopefully the players don't get confused when they take a quick glance up the ice and make the pass. But yeah, this should be a good matchup. And as we mentioned, the one team has experience in Bayard-Rustin. The Knights have been here before. Franklin Regional, a first-time representative for the Penguins Cup. And if you're the Panthers and your head coach Brian Kurtz, what you're going to have to game plan against is a very hot goalie. We talked about the Panthers, and Soltesz came in on a hot streak. Well, on the other side, Jason Grande has been terrific. When you look at his 3 games most recently, just 5 goals against. He has a 1.7 goals against in the postseason and a .936 save percentage, so he's been terrific. And then the leading scorer, Brett Christie, he was the regular season leader for the Knights with 32 points. He's responded with 9 points in 3 playoff games. That's the guy that they're going to have to shut down. We mentioned they did a good job against Jordan Timmons for South Bay, had a prolific score, keeping him in check for the most part, at least limiting his golden opportunities. And that's what the Panthers are going to have to do here tonight against the Knights.
You mentioned Jason Grande. He made 40 saves in the state championship win last year, 5-2 over Mars. And Brett Christie has been big on the big stage. The senior, 9.6 goals and 3 assists through the Flyers Cup playoffs. Last year, he had the game-winning goal over Mars. 2 years ago, he had a goal and 2 assists in the win for Bayard-Rustin over Quaker Valley. That was also a 5-2 win. And Tommy Sloan, the junior forward, has also been good over the years and good this season in the playoffs for Bayard-Rustin with 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. So on the one side, you have teams that a team that's very experienced, obviously, in their 3rd straight championship. And on the other side, you talked about it, Franklin Regional, their first appearance here. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you're unaffected. A lot of times, though, when the lights get brighter, and they've got the PIHL experience now, Sean, but when you get to the state championship, sometimes there is more nervousness. So I think the good start is a key, especially if you keep in mind that 2 years ago against Quaker Valley, the Golden Knights were up 2-0 against the Quakers less than 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said you have to start on time. And this game we thought was going to start at noon, so the game's not starting on time, but it's very important that the players for Franklin Regional do. And an interesting note for how this is determined, we mentioned there's a Penguins Cup representative, a Flyers Cup representative. Well, in the Penguins Cup, there was 10 teams in the Class Single A playoffs. In the Flyers Cup, there was actually 14 teams. So some of the teams, including Bayard-Rustin, got a bye to the quarterfinals, and the Knights actually were the number 2 seed. Westchester East was the number 1 seed. Westchester East never actually made it to the championship. Springfield knocked them off, and then, of course, Bayard-Rustin knocking off Springfield by the score of 4-1 in the finals of the Flyers Cup. So now they are the representative for the 3rd straight year out of the Philadelphia area.
Yeah, they came out of the Chesmont playoffs as the 3rd place team, did the Golden Knights, and they've won back-to-back Chesmont titles. Their head coach is Nick Russo. He's the longtime head coach, and overall, Rustin has won 6 Flyers Cup championships in the last 8 years. So they are a power from out east. Bayard-Rustin from Westchester. They're here again. They will be wearing the old gold uniforms with the dark blue trim, the navy blue trim, and moving from right to left across your computer keyboard or your computer screen if you're watching this. And it's the navy blue and old gold, but in reverse. Blue predominantly for Franklin Regional, and the old gold trim. They'll be in the goal to our left. Our goaltender matchup, Danny Soltesz, the freshman, 3-0 in the playoffs, a 133 goals against average and a stellar save percentage of .962. Jason Grande also has played 3 games, 3-0 for the Golden Knights. His goals against average .170, his save percentage .936. First of 3, as we mentioned, 2:30. It's Bishop Canterman representing the PIHL and Central Bucks South from the EPIHA. Sean and Kevin Zomanski will have the call of that game. Then the AAA championship at 5 o'clock. It will feature the LaSalle College Explorers taking on the Erie Cathedral Prep Ramblers. Myself and Kevin Zomanski will have the call of that. We'll have pictures, we'll have articles and updates all day from the Pegula Ice Arena as we bring you the Pennsylvania State championships as far as hockey for WPA or for PIAA basketball games on tap today. So you can have updated coverage of those contests here on the MSA Sports Network, as well as the winter sports get put to bed here this afternoon/evening.
Interesting note, we were up here 2 years ago, and it's the 3 same representatives from the Flyers Cup in single A, double A, and triple A. Same 3 teams are back here, so I think that kind of is a testament to the dominance of those programs being able to get here regularly. We have a few familiar faces from the PIHL, of course, with Erie Cathedral Prep was up here last year. as well as Bishop Canevin in recent years, but first time ever for Franklin Regional.
You made a great point. In this classification, on the western part of the state, it's been dominated over the years by Mars and Quaker Valley, and both of those programs moved up into Double A, which presented opportunities. Face-off is controlled by Franklin Regional. As we are underway, it's back into the Golden Knights zone, played there by Connor Laps up the far side, too far for Tommy Sloan, and on the puck is Dakota McIntyre for Franklin Regional. He gets it into the zone. His first opportunity, walks in, and a blocker save coming down the left wing by Grande on McIntyre. What a great opportunity just 13 seconds into this game. Here's a counter opportunity the other way. That shot is stopped by Soltes, and a great glove save on the rebound. But now they say, did it go in or not? No, it's in the glove of Soltes as he denied Sloan, and then the rebound was out there on a platter. That was denied as well. How about being thrown into the game right away? Two great opportunities either way, Sean. Both of these goaltenders up to the task early.
Yeah, usually a goaltender wants to feel the puck a little bit. Well, that's certainly not the case here. They, as you mentioned, were right into the fire. Golden opportunities both ways.
Sloan had the first one, and here's another opportunity in front that is denied on the Sherrico attempt. Not sure had the rebound, but two big saves by Danny Soltes, and then McIntyre's opportunity was denied by Jason Grande. I thought that might have been an offside on the chances for Bayard-Rustin, but Soltes, and he made that glove save pretty easy. Always being a goaltender from back in the day, you'd like to get that first save out of the way, and both of these keepers were tested early. Through center ice, deflected in by Jamie Morrow for Franklin Regional, and playing in his own zone, Ian Straczynski for the Golden Knights, too far for Kyle Mullen, and it's back to the Franklin zone, played by Brandon Mezer,
yes.
Mezer gets it up. Poked up ahead for Oda Virag. He can't get into the zone. Talented freshman for the Panthers. Played back into the Franklin Regional zone. And they'll be on the near side. They'll go back to the far side. That's a good check, though, by Eric Flynn for Bayard-Rustin, but it is played back to center ice. Dumped back in by Evan Burke. The tag up is accomplished. And Franklin Regional, an outlet that is intercepted near side by Lucas Christie, I believe. He tries to put it up ahead, too far for Matt Owens. And it's played and gloved by Soltes, and will face off to his left in the Franklin Regional zone.
One thing I really noticed about Soltes in that Penguins Cup championship is he controlled the pace of the game, took a lot of early whistles, and I think that paid dividends in the long run. So he's not afraid to cover up the puck and control this game.
Thought it might have been the hockey hair coming out of the back of the combo cage for Danny Soltes, the freshman. Wrist shot from the point is blocked in front. It was taken from the far side, right point by Evan Burke. Blocked out in front, trying to get the puck in the near corner. One of the Franklin Regional players, he can't do it, but it's played back behind the net. That is Colton Cook for Franklin Regional, the captain. Now it's played out into space, an opportunity for Christian Kitch, but he put it up the left wing side too far, and Evan Greenberg is able to get back and play the puck for the Golden Knights. Good job by Kitch at the blue line to keep it alive. Dumps it in. Eric Flynn plays it out on the near side, left side to Lucas Christie. Christie comes back 1-on-4. He's going to fire a wrist shot that goes over top the cage. Off the bench on the line changes Brett Christie. He keeps it in. And trying to get there is Samedi. Samedi puts it in front. Good job by the Panthers to clear it away in front of their own net by Nick Coretta. And here comes Coretta up the right wing side, but he was 1-on-2. And a good job he's taken off the puck by the Golden Knights. And then back to play it in their own zone for the Golden Knights is a number 53. Don't have him on the roster. I think that might be Matt Wittes. On the near side, Franklin Regional can't get us. Wittes plays it out to center ice, played by Kitch. Right back in for the Panthers, and in his own zone to play it is Straczynski. Ian Straczynski, the freshman, comes all the way up the ice, finds his teammate at the Franklin Regional blue line, and it's dumped in by Wittes. On the near side, the Golden Knights have it, turning to shoot it. They can't. They go to center point. Played back on the right wing half boards. Good cross ice pass. Near point to Straczynski. He resets, fires through traffic. He missed the net. There's a glove missing from one of the players. It's off of Brett Christie's hand, but he still chases after the puck with one glove. And Franklin Regional clears it back in to the Golden Knights zone. Kyle Mullen will play and he'll lose the puck. Good job on the forecheck by Cameron Huffman for Franklin Regional. As we approach the 4-minute mark of this first period, 4 minutes in, we're scoreless at the Pegula Ice Arena. Bayard-Rustin plays it back to center ice. Near side, the puck comes to Justin Gismondi. He dumps it into the zone, played off the stick of Jason Grande. given away on the near side by McIntyre on the forecheck. On the right wing half boards, puts it to the circle, trying to center it. The Panthers, they can't do it. They have to play it behind the Golden Knights net. Puck on the near boards for Kyle Mullen. Mullen reverses in his own zone, plays it all the way across and back to center ice. Joey Grieco has to go back and play it in the neutral zone. He gets it up to McIntyre, who dumps it into the Bayard-Rustin zone. The Knights clear at the length of the ice. That's going to be icing, and that'll bring the faceoff all the way back into the Bayard-Rustin zone to the right of goaltender Jason Grande. Scoreless in this first period. Shots are 2-1. Those two shots early for the Golden Knights, the one for Franklin Regional, the only shots we've had so far.
Yeah, and the play has been a bit ragged as Franklin Regional's actually done a nice job on the forecheck, causing some problems for the Knights, and as a result, they're going to get an offensive zone draw out of it.
The face-off is controlled by Franklin Regional. Nick Coretta skates it to the center point, puts it in front, but right on the stick of Wittes. So Wittes is out there as number 43. We'll have to try to find out who 53 is for Bayard-Rustin. Don't have a player on my roster again with that number. Right point shot is whistled wide on a wrister by Connor Laps. And in their own zone behind the net, Joey Grieco is checked. He kicks it to the near side to Kyle Mullen, and Mullen puts it up the boards and does get it back to center ice as it's played in by Wittes. But the tag up is accomplished by Bayard-Rustin. Franklin Regional puts it into the neutral zone. The Knights dump it right back in. So we've seen a lot of dumping and chasing for Bayard-Rustin in early going, as opposed to the forecheck by Franklin Regional. There's an opportunity down the right side by Coretta, but a good job in the defensive side by Brett Christie to deny for the Golden Knights. Right point keeping it in. Wrist shot comes in front, turning shot. That is stopped. We're going to get a penalty. Good opportunity by Oda Virag in front. He took the first shot. He was denied by Grande. The second shot, Virag was knocked down by Matt Wittes, and Wittes is going to go to the penalty box for Bayard-Rustin.
Yeah, right place, right time for Virag as the shot was deflected, got through, and he was able to spin around, get a good chance, and then he was absolutely leveled, as you mentioned, first power play of the game, and this is of utter importance for Franklin Regional to really try to establish momentum. Obviously, they want to get a goal, but at least get a few shots and test this penalty kill of the Knights.
Interference, the call against Matt Wittes at 5:44. During the playoffs, Franklin Regional 1 for 9 with a man advantage and 11% success rate. Bayard-Rustin has killed off 10 of 12 penalties through the Flyers Cup playoffs. Down low, shot at the crossbar. Jamie Morrow, a sneaky shot from the right goal line. He got it over top of Grande, but hit the crossbar. Centers, oh, it's right there. But it goes through the wickets of Rafferty. That creates an opportunity the other way for Bayard-Rustin. They try to cut inside and denied an opportunity on the counterattack, shorthanded. Here comes Franklin Regional back the other way. I wonder if that's Evan Burke, who wears number 53. As Virag gained the zone and Franklin Regional on the power play. That puck is intercepted. Coming through center ice is Brett Christie. He's dangerous shorthanded. He's 2-on-1. Oh, a little saucer pass in front, just out of the reach of Ian Straczynski. So two good opportunities shorthanded for Bayard-Rustin, and they steal in the zone. Franklin Regional pokes it back to the neutral zone and on the man advantage.
Been a lot of action on this power play as we're going to get an ice here. Franklin Regional hits the crossbar one way, and then the Knights get a couple of opportunities the other way. First time is broken up by Gismondi. The second time, the saucer pass was just out of the reach of the Knights on what was a 2-on-1. So action both ways, and it's very easy to see that this Knights shorthanded team could be explosive, and that's something the Panthers are going to have to keep an eye on. They always want to have a pair of players back.
57 seconds to go on the Franklin Regional power play. Colton Cook, the captain, behind his own net, slides it up the right wing to Huffman. Huffman goes far side, and it's dumped in. Taking the check is McIntyre, the alternate, gets it into the zone. Grande had it, and then Ethan Bennett got there. It scored it free, but the referee had lost sight of the puck and said it was frozen. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Jason Grande. In the end to our right, the offensive zone to our right. 43 seconds to go on the Franklin Regional power play. Taking the face-off will be Bennett. He's faced off against Sherrico. Won by Franklin Regional. Wrist shot. Butterfly save made by Grande on the wrister off the stick of Huffman. Huffman is in the left corner. Slides it around near side to McIntyre, but McIntyre has to come back to center ice and play it, the senior forward for Franklin Regional. He'll dump it back in onto the stick of Connor Laps, and Laps will clear the zone. 20 seconds to go. Chance for one last rush for the Franklin Regional Panthers. 9:30 to go in this first period on the game clock. Panthers get it to center ice. Brett Christie has his pocket picked by Huffman, but Christie has it back in his own zone. The Wittes penalty will end in 5 seconds. Wrist shot by Christie down the left wing side, misses the net. And we are full strength as Wittes is out of the penalty box for Bayard-Rustin. Playing in his own zone is Lucas Christie, assuming the younger brother of Brett Christie. Up to Wittes, poked off of his stick by Aaron Bartafay, back into the attack zone for the Panthers. And in the neutral zone, Ian Straczynski. 3 shots on goal, actually 1 on the power play, as Franklin Regional had 2 shots on Jason Grande before the power play took over, which created the opportunity on the Wittes penalty. Franklin in their own zone, they get it to Christian Kitch. Kitch off the bench. That pass now, as a return to Kitch, is intercepted by Tommy Sloan, and Sloan dumps it into the Franklin Regional zone. Played by Cook up the near side. That is Santino DeCesar. Dumped in and played away by Bayard-Rustin. And Caden Cook has to go back to play it behind his own net for Franklin Regional. And we get is that going to be a too many men? No, we're going to get a roughing call. It looks like it might be against Franklin Regional. It was behind the play. It was got a whistle, and it is going to be a penalty against the Panthers, charged against Santino DeCesar.
Yeah, didn't see what happened there, but DeCesar headed to the box for what he hopes will be 2 minutes. An interesting thing for Bayard-Rustin right now. Seems like the Knights more times than not are content just to dump the puck deep, and they really aren't putting much pressure at all on the Franklin Regional defense. We'll see what strategic changes they make here on the man advantage, however, as they certainly have some dangerous playmakers, but at least in the early going of this game, just getting the puck deep and forcing the Panthers to go the length of the ice.
DeCesar for roughing shot. That is a left pad save made on the right point shot. In front down while they score! A quick pass in front for Bayard-Rustin. They're able to convert 10 seconds into this power play to take a 1-0 lead.
And that's got to be an awful feeling for DeCesar, as you mentioned. He was only in the box for 10 seconds. First tally of this game, and it's just get bodies in front of the goal and make Soltez try to work around the mass of humanity. That time he wasn't able to make the save. And the 4th shot of the game for Bayard-Rustin accounts for the first goal of this contest.
We'll get the official call on that goal. They had a couple players jammed in down low, and they were able to tuck it in on the power play past goaltender Danny Soltez for the first goal. So they kill a penalty, and then they get a power play goal, and now they get a high stick right off the faceoff as not Drake Brown, it's Eric Flynn. He goes in for high sticking for the Golden Knights. So Franklin Regional goes back on the man advantage. The penalty for DeCesar came at 8:45. The goal came at 8:55. And now 9:06.
Matt Owens credited with the goal.
Unassisted goal. Owens, his first of the playoffs. The freshman gets the first tally. Franklin Regional goes back on the man advantage. Their second opportunity. Now they trail 1-0, a chance to tie the game. Center point wrist shot. It is blocked, as that was taken by Justin Gismondi. On the near side, Virag goes to the right point. Rafferty back to Virag. Near circle was wrist shot. That is gloved out. An easy save by Jason Grande, and a faceoff will come to his left.
Easy save because Virag had to stop the puck, control it, and then take a wrist shot. I think ideally he would have wanted to take a one-timer, although he was quite a distance away, so maybe not the worst idea to stop it, skate in a little bit, but it allowed the goaltender Grande to settle himself and get good positioning.
How about Virag in the regular season was the leading goal scorer for Franklin Regional with 18. He had nine assists. Virag with 6 assists through the 3 Penguins Cup playoff games. In his own zone, short-handed Brett Christie with speed comes to the neutral zone. He's 1 on 5, but he flies down the left wing and puts a wrist shot that goes harmlessly over top of the net, but he's doing a good job of taking time off the penalty. And he has the puck again, wrist shot. That is blockered down by Soltez. That gives Franklin Regional a chance to set up behind their own net with 50 seconds to go on the penalty to Eric Flynn. The high sticking call. Panthers will put it to center ice to Huffman. Huffman's pass to Bennett. Bennett gets it into the zone and now dumps it in behind the cage. It's going to be played up and around the boards by the Golden Knights, and trying to give chase there is Derek Cimetti, their captain, but he can't get there. It's Tommy Sloan, on the forecheck. Pass far side, it's behind Dakota McIntyre, and that gives Bayard-Rustin a chance to clear it again the length of the ice. So special teams has been a big story in this first period. Franklin Regional 0 for 1 on the power play. The lone goal of the game coming on the power play for Bayard-Rustin. 5 seconds to go. Nicholas Coretta has it in his own zone for Franklin Regional. As Flint comes out of the penalty box, we're 5 aside. Under 6 minutes to go in this first period, with the Golden Knights leading 1-0. Through the neutral zone comes Drake Brown. Brown on the right side against Evan Burke. Comes back, wrist shot. A shot pass in front by Coretta. Never made it through. Deflected behind the goal line. That's a good check, but the Golden Knights take the check and they clear the zone. Evan Burke will dump it in. And the Panthers have to play it behind their own net. And it's intercepted. Joel Sherrico puts a wrist shot from the right point. Blocked in front by Rafferty, and Rafferty does a good job to turn it clear back to center ice. Sherrico's pass comes near side for Kyle Mullen, and Mullen puts it into the Franklin Regional zone. And Brown plays it on the defense for the Panthers, and they will regroup their center ice. Check it, wrist shot, as it was Kristen Kitch who got it up into the zone. Kitch again on the near side of the backhander. It deflects off a skate and comes in front, but there were 3 gold jerseys in front for the Golden Knights. On the near boards, DeCesar on the right wing half boards. Dumps it in, it's played around and out with speed. Brett Christie, wrist shot, shouldered aside by Soltez. To the blue line, kept in by Eric Flynn. Slides it in as the Knights want to go for a line change. They've completed half of it, and now they get a full line change, and it's cleared up by Franklin Regional. Aaron Bartafay can't get there. Playing in front of his own net is Kristen Kitch. Kitch to the far side for DeCesar, and he's tied up in a good forechecking effort by Matt Owens, who has the only goal of the game. The Knights steal. Their wrist shot is blocked from the top of the right circle, and it goes into the meshing behind Soltez, so we'll get a face-off in the Franklin Regional zone with 4:08 to go in the first period. A 1-0 lead for Bayard-Rustin.
And the Knights, only 5 shots on goal, but they're making the Panthers go the length of the ice. So many times we've seen Franklin Regional behind its own goal line having to go nearly 200 feet, and that's going to ultimately, I think, wear this Franklin Regional team down. The breakouts have not been ideal for the Panthers as we see more trouble behind their own cage.
Yeah, Franklin Regional turns it over as Rico lost the puck. And the Knights tried a centering pass. They couldn't get out in front. Virag, though, takes a check and slides it near side to Jamie Morrow, who clears the zone for the Panthers. And he dumps it in, but did not gain the red line. And icing is called against Franklin Regional. It's going to bring the faceoff back into the Panthers zone to our left.
Yeah, he was looking for a saucer pass to Virag, but got a little bit too much air underneath it. His teammate could not get a stick on it, so the errant pass leads to a icing violation with just under 4 minutes left in this opening stanza.
Face-off is in the right corner. Clear up the boards of Virag, gets it to the point, but kept in nicely by Kyle Mullen. Well, Mullen put it in front, and it deflected, but the opportunity was not there for the Golden Knights. It goes back behind the net. Now Franklin Regional in their own zone. They get it to the blue line, but not out. As Sloan, the junior forward, dumps it right back in. Played behind the net by Colton Cook. Near side shot, deflects in front as it was taken by Cimetti. They put it in front, and another goal for the Golden Knights. As they turned it quickly, got it in front, and it was Brett Christie, I believe, with the one-timer to put it in.
This team right now for the Knights is just picking their spots. As we mentioned, it hasn't been sustained offensive pressure, but they've done a great job below the goal line for the Panthers, and a second time that they produce a goal working from behind the cage of the Panthers as they quickly got that one in front and no time to react for Soltez. It is 2-0, just 6 shots on the board for the Knights, but they already have 2 goals to show for it.
And it is Brett Christie, I believe it is. his 7th of the playoffs. Tommy Sloan and Derek Semetti get the helpers on the Brett Christie goal, his 7th goal of the playoffs, and Christie's streak continues. Brett Christie had 2 goals and an assist in a 4-2 win over Hershey in the quarterfinals. Christie 2 goals and an assist in a 3-2 win over Unionville in the semifinals, and then Christie had 2 goals and an assist in a 4-1 win over Springford Delco. The Panthers win the faceoff, got it to the net. Grande gloved it, and then there was a little scrum in front of the Golden Knights net to our left. Talked about getting off to a quick start for Franklin Regional, Sean, and they did okay. They weathered maybe an early storm as Sultez made 2 saves, but the continuation of the early start in this first period later on has gone the way of the Golden Knights with this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Bayard-Rustin just capitalized on their chances. No way around it. I mean, as we mentioned, it hasn't been dominant offensive possession time, but when they've had the opportunities in front of the cage, they've capitalized in Franklin Regional. You look back at that power play where the Panthers rung one off with the crossbar. It's just a matter of inches. It could have been a lead for Franklin Regional. Instead, Bayard-Rustin has been able to put it behind the very hot goaltender, Daniel Soltez, who I don't think he's allowed any bad goals, but right now his save percentage isn't going to look too good because the 2 chances right in front both have gone in favor of the Knights.
Goals by Matt Owens at 8:55 for Bayard-Rustin, and then Brett Christie at 13:45. The Owens goal was a power play marker for Bayard-Rustin. 2-0 lead for the Golden Knights, 2:28 remaining in this first period. Face-off won by Coretta back into his own zone to Cook. Up the near side off of Fusting and played back into the Knights zone. Straczynski plays it, deflects up, cleared away by the Panthers, but onto the stick of a streaking Lucas Christie. He dumps it into the Franklin Regional zone. Tied up in the right corner by Bayard-Rustin, and the scrum ensues. Dug out of there by Coretta, but he can't clear. Skated up and then forced out of the zone by Drake Brown. Trying to get to the puck first was Fusting, but he can't. First man there on the puck is Lucas Christie and Derek Semetti. Wrist shot, that's a good one from between the hashes, but it missed the net as it was taken by Matt Owens. On the forecheck is Lucas Christie. Can't get to the puck. It's Colton Cook for Franklin Regional. He backhands it back through center ice. On the near side in his own zone, it's Christie, Lucas Christie. He loses it on the backhand, and it allows Franklin Regional Santino DeCesar to gain the red line and dump it in. Played out of the air by Eric Flynn, and he clears the zone for Bayard-Rustin with 1:10 to go in the first. Justin Gizmondi in his own zone for the Panthers. Gets it through the neutral zone. John Bresnicki will play it for Bayard-Rustin. Here comes the opportunity for the Golden Knights. They can't keep it in. Trying to keep it in at the right point was Tommy Sloan, and it goes off of his glove into the Franklin Regional bench. We'll have a face-off just outside of the Panthers' blue line with 54.7 seconds to go in period number 1.
And again, for Bayard-Rustin, just a very simple game plan. We've seen Brett Christie show off the skill in the hands, but other than him, it's a lot of players just getting the puck deep, making sure to dump it without taking the icing, forcing Franklin Regional to go the length of the ice, and that recipe has been successful for the Knights in the early going.
Played in by Kitch for the Panthers. Jason Grande comes on, clears it in front. Down low, a turning shot by DeCesar on the right goal line, went through the crease, cleared to the blue line. It does come back to center ice, and then a man is knocked down as Justin Gizmondi. Franklin Regional Panther fans wanted an interference call, but none to be had. Played up to the blue line. The Panthers will gain possession. DeCesar has his pocket picked by Brett Christie. Christie comes down the left side with 18 seconds to go. Centers it in front for Sloan at his skate. Hit it off of his skate beyond the net. Played by the Panthers by Rafferty out of the zone. Here comes an opportunity late for DeCesar. 7 seconds, wrist shot block. Comes in front. Oh, DeCesar shoveled it just wide. It was blocked by Bresnicki. And then the second opportunity late for DeCesar. I believe he had the early opportunity in the period for Franklin Regional, and he shoveled it wide. The first period is done. After 1, the score, Bayard-Rustin 2 and Franklin Regional 0. We'll take a break. You're listening and watching the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Championships. Coverage is right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything, right? I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
MSA sports broadcasts are now available on both Android and iOS devices. Just navigate to the game of your choice, and on your mobile device, press the arrow or play button. It's that easy. No app needed. No matter where you are, MSA sports content is available at your fingertips via your iPad, Android phone, iPod, and iPhone. Anytime, anywhere, always there. The MSA Sports Network. When looking to replace...
Welcome back to the Pegula Ice Arena.
The best artificial turf.
Sean Meyers, Bob Orkwis, and a persistent Don Rebel.
Keeps trying to get that
in
word
the background. 2-0 lead for Bayard-Rustin, trying to win their 3rd consecutive Pennsylvania Cup in Class A. They get goals by Owens and Brett Christie in the first period to take a 2-0 lead. Teams will change ends. Franklin Regional will skate from right to left. Dan Soltez is in the goal to our right. Jason Grande in the goal to our left. Franklin wins the face-off. McIntyre comes in. McIntyre actually had the early opportunity in the first period for Franklin Regional. Played up by Meisinger, and he gets it back to center ice for the Golden Knights. Stumped back in behind the Bayard-Rustin net. And they give it away, but it's a delayed offside against Franklin Regional.
We talked about the start for the Panthers. As you mentioned, it wasn't a terrible start. The problem was for Franklin Regional at the end of the first 17 minutes, they faced a 2-goal deficit, so they're going to have to figure out a way to right the ship here in period number 2. And I don't think they really were outplayed for the majority of that. It's just you have to capitalize on your chances if you're the Panthers.
Trying to steal on the near side was McIntyre. Second effort by the Knights. They get it back to center ice and now tracked down in the neutral zone by Dakota McIntyre. Back to Colton Cook. Near side, back in and out of the zone by Grieco. But it's stolen at center ice by Sherrico. Sherrico got it onto the stick of Meisinger. And here comes the attack. Meisinger between the circles. Good stick by Cook to deny. And McIntyre will slide it out of the zone. All the way back into the Rustin zone where Matt Wittes plays for the Golden Knights. And in the neutral zone, Grieco plays it far side to Cook. Cook back left wing side for Grieco as the Panthers complete a line change. Deflected down the right wing side, Cameron Huffman gets into the zone. Wrist shot from down low, stopped by Grande. And then it bounced around, and Grande put the paddle down on the ice and kept it out of there. Coming down the left wing side, Lucas Christie skates behind the net, tries to center it as the Golden Knights go for a line change. Off the bench to try to play the puck is Eric Flynn. Squirts behind the net. The Panthers will play in their own zone. Up the near side, Oda Virag puts it into space, and there's a 2-on-1. Left wing side, Virag stick handles. Walks in and stopped by Grande. It was behind him. He couldn't find it. Loose in the crease. Now a turning shot by Morrow was blocked. Here comes the opportunity the other way. Matt Owens on a breakaway. Wrist shot, score! Owens makes it 3-0, Golden Knights.
What a momentum swing there as Virag looked like he had the puck past Grande, and it was just sitting there in the blue paint in the crease. Ultimately cleared away. One of the Panthers defensively tried to step up from the blue line to get another shot on the goal while Grande was still trying to find his footing. Instead, it leads to a breakaway the other way for Matt Owens. It was skate Owens skate. He comes in, finishes on the breakaway. It is quickly 3-0, and you see how this game can swing just 1 inch the other way for Franklin Regional. It might have been a 1-goal game.
Christie walks in behind the net, loses the puck to DeCesar. Unassisted goal for Matt Owens. his second of the game, and the Franklin Regional Panthers came that close to making it 2-1. As there's the wrist shot from between the circles, fanned on by Kitch. The puck was bouncing around behind Grande, cleared the other way. Owens on the breakaway. He comes in, backhands it past Soltez, and it's 3-0. Much like the first goal of the game for Owens, Franklin Regional, Sean, had the power play opportunity. They couldn't convert. Power play the other way, 1-0 Golden Knights. Chance to make it 2-1. Panthers can't convert. Owens at the other end on the breakaway.
And you hope for the Panthers frustration doesn't set in because of that. Again, you look at the shot totals and just the way the game has unfolded. It's not been domination by the Knights, but again, when they've gotten the opportunities, they've cashed in, and conversely, Franklin Regional has been just a shade off from getting one behind the very talented goalkeeper Jason Grande right now.
Soltez had to make a save, and then we're going to get a roughing calls in the neutral zone. Two players were tied up, and Tommy Sloan is going to go to the penalty box for Bayard-Rustin. A roughing call. It will come at the 2:59 mark of the second period, down 3-0. Not a crucial point, but a critical point. Not a must score on the power play for Franklin Regional, but down 3-0. They'd like to get on the board with the man advantage, their third power play opportunity of the game. They win the faceoff. Near point, Gismondi goes to the far side, dumped in behind the net. Playing it there is Jamie Morrow. Morrow got it in front of Junior, who has 5 goals in the playoffs to lead Franklin Regional, including a hat trick. And Morrow had 2 goals in a win over Montour, then the hat trick in the win for the Panthers over Bishop McCourt. There comes an opportunity for Virag, comes to the center point. Wrist shot, good right toe save on the wrister taken by Rafferty. And the Panthers can't keep it in at the blue line as Gismondi had to go back in the neutral zone to play it.
Gismondi was wide open. He wanted a pass earlier in that power play, never came to him, and ultimately a nice pad save by Grande in the clear.
I like the fact that he took the wrist shot as opposed to the slap shot. That's kind of a change of pace, and Grande was up to the right pad. Left side, puck onto the stick of Gismondi. He couldn't play it cleanly. Played behind the net. Jamie Morrow with it. He's knocked down, and we're going to get a whistle. I think we might get a hand pass called against Franklin Regional as Morrow kind of slid it to Virag with his hand, I believe. No, the net actually came off the moorings.
Almost a minute exactly into this man advantage for the Panthers, and they've gotten a few shots, but again, they maybe slowed down just a second, hold on to the puck. Gismondi is skating around wide open on the back door. He wants to unleash a hard slap shot, but as you mentioned, the one time the Panthers got it to him, it just did not settle down for him, and he couldn't get an opportunity.
Ethan Bennett to take the face-off for Franklin Regional with the man advantage. Christie wins it and is cleared out of the zone by Connor Laps. Christie gives chase against Gismondi. Christie killing some time in the right wing corner. He's doing a good job now, loses the puck. And McIntyre tries to come the other way, but Brett Christie's all over the ice. Finally, it's Gismondi who comes out of his own zone for the Panthers, but they are offside. Coming back 3-on-3. 35 seconds to go on the Franklin Regional power play. 12:35 remaining in the second period. It is Bayard-Rustin 3 and Franklin Regional nothing.
Panthers, each of their first 2 power plays, they got one good chance, but it was not sustained, and it looks like with about 30 seconds remaining, this one could be the case again if the Panthers can't get anything over these last 30 seconds. They got that one nice shot from the point, good pad save by Grande, but since then they really haven't been able to enter the zone and set up anything.
Brett Christie gives a little bit of a stick to McIntyre. Christie's been great on the second half of the PK for Bayard-Rustin. 10 seconds to go now on the man advantage. The Panthers have to come out of their own zone, and avoiding a check is Huffman, but just getting enough of him was Burke. We're checking it wasn't Burke, it was Flynn. There's an opportunity for Bayard-Rustin. Shot down low, and then the butterfly to make the save was Soltez. The penalty is over, and then Franklin Regional will be called for a penalty, a high sticking call, and that will put Bayard-Rustin on the man advantage for the second time in this game as Cam Huffman goes to the penalty box for high sticking. Time of this penalty is 5:01, and for the third time in this game, Bayard-Rustin has killed off a Franklin Regional power play, and for the second time, it gets piggyback, Sean, with a power play of their own for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, momentum swings, missed what could have been a goal one way for the Panthers comes right back for a Knights goal the other way. Can't capitalize on the power play for Franklin Regional, and just seconds after that ends, the Knights go to the man advantage.
They have control. Lucas Christie comes to the right point. Joel Sherrico tees it up. I think that got on to Soltez. He made a save. Down low, a backhander put on the rebound, and Soltez made that save to deny Kyle Mullen. So 2 saves early in the power play for Franklin Regional's Danny Soltez. Panthers killing the penalty. They're trying to create an opportunity shorthanded, but coming out of his own zone with the puck is Ian Straczynski for Bayard-Rustin with speed down the right side. He's going to get in between the slots. Down low with a shot. Soltez with a good glove save as he splayed out. It actually deflected up over the meshing as they worked it in front, did Bayard-Rustin. A great rush by Straczynski, and he got it in front to Flynn, but Soltez was up to the task. Maybe it was deflected by the stick of one of his defensemen. No, it's going to say the shot just goes over the net. It comes out of the
I think he tried to roof it and just pulled the string on it and ended up just
That's pretty good
much,
considering how close he was.
Yeah, exactly. He was only about 2 feet away from the cage and shot it right over the goal and over the glass. So it'll come back to the neutral zone.
Into the zone, right side, near side. Christie gets it over to Tommy Sloan, but he's denied by a sprawling save by Soltez. He's been up to the task early in this power play. On the near side, Tommy Sloan, right wing, half boards, leaves it for Brett Christie. Top of the right circle. Center point to Lucas Christie, back near side. That shot by Brett Christie is blocked, and a centering pass by Sloan, but Bresnicki never saw it coming, and it comes off the stick of Bresnicki out of the zone. 39 seconds to go on the power play.
Great job getting bodies in front of the cage, and Soltez has not been able to see a few of these shots. Luckily for him, that last one never made it through.
Franklin Regional has 2 good opportunities down low, including a crossbar. 2 of the goals scored by the Golden Knights have come from down low. Good job to kill time in the penalty in the near corner by Ethan Bennett, but a great outlet. Stretch pass to Tommy Sloan. He's 1-on-2, loses the puck. He falls down, and it's cleared away and out of the zone by Rafferty for Franklin Regional. Here comes Thomas Rafferty, shorthanded, dumps it in. Would have been delayed offside. We're down to 5 seconds to go on the Golden Knights power play. Flying over to get the puck is Bennett. He'll dump it in. No, he couldn't get it into the zone, but he plays it from his wallet. And through the neutral zone, Brett Christie. Penalty is over to Hoffman, and we're 5 aside into the Franklin Regional zone. Panthers clear it up the ice, too far for Coretta. Coretta is knocked off the puck by Lucas Christie. And that pass through the neutral zone intercepted, but Christie has it. Lucas Christie tries to come down the right side. He can't do it, and it's cleared away. And in his own zone is Christie. He lost it right there, a shot, and it missed the net. That just turned into a golden opportunity for Fusting. Down low, he slams his stick as he goes for a line change, as he almost converted that turnover, but he couldn't even get a shot onto the Bayard-Rustin net. Backhanded in his own zone by Coretta. Far side to Morrow, and Morrow onto the stick of Virag. 1-on-3, skates right to left, slides a wrist shot. Grande with an easy stick save, and he covers up. 8:56 to go in the second period. Bayard-Rustin 3, Franklin Regional nothing in the 2016 PIHL Class A Pennsylvania Cup Championship game from the Pegula Ice Arena here at Penn State University.
And for those watching with Jess Levo manning the camera, they saw that Virag had absolutely nowhere to go. There was 4 defenders, 2 in front, 2 behind on the back pressure, and you really can't generate anything with those odds. The Panthers need to try to get a few other players to join the rush.
Grieco's face-off, or Grieco's shot off a face-off one was blocked by Bayard-Rustin. The puck is in the Golden Knights zone. Meisinger lost it. It's behind the net. Panthers have possession. Virag tries to work out of the check, but that's a good job to keep him pinned by Laps. Comes to the near point, kept in though by Coretta. He slides it in behind the net. Over to Virag, loses his stick. And that's going to be a penalty against Bayard-Rustin. That's got to be a slash, as the stick of Virag was slashed out of his hands. And that'll be a slashing call levied against Connor Laps at 8:39 of the second period. And this is the 4th man advantage opportunity for Franklin Regional.
Yeah, and you said before, earlier in this period, that it wasn't necessarily a must score. Well, you're starting to get to the point almost midway through this contest that the Panthers probably do want to get one here. Certainly they want to do something to try to get momentum back because this second period has really belonged to the Knights, but another chance for the Panthers.
I see a Wayne Simmons shirt across the way. I don't like it, quite frankly.
Got a lot of Philly fans.
Brett Christie short-handed down the left side, wrist shot, and that is gloved in the butterfly by Danny Soltesz. Christie's shifty with the puck. He did a good job that helped kill the third penalty, and he gets another short-handed opportunity. That allows the face-off to be handled in the Franken Regional Zone. It's ironic that we are playing East versus West. Oh, a good deflection short-handed. Soltesz made that save on the bouncing puck. That with East playing West, 1 o'clock today, the Flyers and the Penguins play. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
It all fits in.
Penn State, of course, I know very well. It's pretty much split 50-50 between Penguins fans and Flyers fans, or Pittsburgh and Philadelphia fans. Obviously, there's a lot of people from New Jersey, New York, and whatnot, but amongst Pennsylvania, it's almost right down the middle, and this campus is located almost between. It's
perfect.
About 2.5 to 3 hours each way.
Geographically perfect, I think. Plus, this facility, the Pegula Ice Arena, it's top-notch. It's in its infancy. How old is it?
Third year,
and it's just a beautiful facility. Wrist shot down low, safe rebound! And Grande stopped that. The initial wrist shot by Gismondi was stopped, and then Coretta was in front. Virag and Morrow. But two good saves by Grande. Down low, Morrow, left goal line, fires it through the crease. Kept in on the right wing side by Rafferty. Behind the net to Virag. Tries to put it in front. It hits the back of the cage. Coretta on the power play. A minute to go, and the man advantage for the Panthers, down 3. That pass, not a good one. Rafferty tried to come to the near point, and it was nowhere close to Gismondi. It was actually deflected back into the Panther zone. Outlet. Here comes Coretta left side. Drops it to Virag. Tees up a wrist shot. Stopped by Grande. Oh, and he couldn't control the rebound cleanly. Coretta had a chance at it, but on the second opportunity, Grande was able to put the big paw down and stop the puck.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Coretta in there trying to find a loose puck. Ultimately couldn't get to that one, but this has been a better power play for the Panthers. Still 43 seconds remaining, and they're finally generating some sustained pressure in the zone, but pressure isn't what they need. They need something to show for it.
Face off to the right of Grande in the zone to our left. Yeah, you need a 1 up there instead of a 0 if you're Franken Regional, trailing by 3 goals. Huffman dumps it in. Kept in on the right wing side by Cook. And a second effort at the point by McIntyre. Puts it into the right wing corner. Huffman had the puck, but he's knocked off of it by Wittes, Matt Wittes, and it's picked up and cleared the length of the ice by Eric Flynn. And the Panthers, with 19 seconds, have a chance for one last rush. They'll play it up the near side. McIntyre checked off the puck by Flynn, but second effort for Barrett comes down. Blocker save on the near post on the left side by Grande. And now we're going to get a penalty. Another penalty, as out of the penalty box comes Laps, and into the penalty box for Bayard-Rustin goes Eric Flynn.
It's actually going to be a 3-second 5-on-3 advantage as Bennett was hit.
Yeah, good catch. I didn't notice that. Laps was still in the penalty box.
Bennett was hit along the near boards from where we're situated. This is really a chance for the Panthers. And going back to the championship, the Penguins Cup championship at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, Franklin Regional scored all 4 of its goals in the third period, but that was set up because they were within striking distance because Soltesz was so good keeping his team only down by 1 goal. Plus, the Panthers got a lot of momentum with that 5-minute penalty kill late in the second period.
Roughing the call against Eric Flynn. So out of the penalty box now comes Connor Laps. So it's a 5-on-4 situation. The 5th man advantage opportunity for Franken Regional. And again, during the Penguins Cup playoffs, they've struggled converting at just 11%. They're 0 for 4 currently in this game. They would sure love a power play marker to get on the board. They gain the zone down the left wing side. It's Gismondi as he goes one-on-one with Evan Burke. Cleared up the far side of Brett Christie. He looks it over and slides at the length of the ice. Virag on the puck. Being forechecked there by 53. And out of the zone. Coming down the right side, Franken Regional. They'll skate it behind the net. Come to the near side centering pass, a good one. Shot save, Grande! And the rebound is knocked just wide. A good opportunity on a centering pass. That shot, the wrister was taken by Rafferty, but Grande made the save, and the rebound on the left side was poked just wide of the net by the Panthers.
Yeah, that was Coretta that had that chance, just could not get good wood behind it.
Puck is played up and out of the zone by the Golden Knights. And the Panthers in their own zone will have to set up. Rafferty on the near side. He has support. He's just going to dump it down the boards, but he dumps it down the boards and actually over the boards. So we'll face off in the neutral zone. A little discussion between one of the linesmen and the personnel on the near side. 34 seconds to go on the Franklin Regional power play. They win the face-off back to their captain, Colin Cook. Cook up the far side to Santino DeCesar. He can't gain the zone. His back in pass to no one, miscommunication, and Sloan takes it and clears it. Cook up the left side. Good forechecking effort by Joel Sherrico. Dumps it back to the Panthers zone. Aaron Bartafay has it on the left side. Good drop pass. Wrist shot, though, by Kitch is blocked and cleared, but kept in by Kitch. Or Ethan Yohe, excuse me, fires it wide. Kitch on the far side as the penalty is over, and we're 5 aside. Franklin Regional 0 for 5 with a man advantage. Tommy Sloan, right wing side. Good pass, backhanded, off the net by Sherrico. Played off the stick of Soltez. In his own zone, gathering the puck is Colton Cook. Under 4 minutes to go in the second period. A 3-0 lead for the Golden Knights. Right point. Shot by Bresnicki is blocked. It does get to the net. And a good job by Soltez to stretch out in that butterfly. These goalkeepers are amazing with their flexibility.
And the first shot, I believe, actually did get through to him. It was redirected in front. I think he had to get the pad down and then the follow-up opportunity. Not much steam.
It stayed under the left pad, I think.
Steam behind it.
It is the 20th shot put up for Bayard-Rustin.
And again, those saves are critical. Right now it's a 3-0 game, and that is a uphill climb for the Panthers, but 4-0 may be insurmountable.
Shot from the right point, deflected wide by Christie. Good centering pass by Lucas Christie in front to Eric Flynn. Had him missed the net. Lucas Christie deflected the first shot off of the net by Bresnicki. In his own zone, Lucas Christie goes near side, right side to Bresnicki. Lost the puck, but centering is Huffman, but no one home for the Panthers. In his own zone to play is Bresnicki. His outlet is too far for a streaking Lucas Christie, but it's not going to be icing. And Mezzer in his own zone. We're in his own zone with the boards. Drake Brown can't clear. Slides it far side to Gavin Fusting. Fusting goes back to his defense, and Rafferty. Rafferty comes near side to Gismondi. His outlet in stride. Finds Nick Coretta. Coretta 2-on-2, flip-flops. His wrist shot is blocked. Good spacing by Christie. Then a shot from the near side. Taken by Gismondi. Making the save in the butterfly and absorbing that puck was Jason Grande for Bayard-Rustin.
Good reactionary save by Grande. I don't know whose stick that deflected off. It might have actually been one of the Knights defenders, but went in on the cage. And a lot of times goalies, on those redirections or those deflections, it's all about their initial positioning. And he was in good position that he was able to absorb that shot as a player late getting off the ice for the Knights now.
He's got big size for the junior. His size reminds me a lot of Jacob Kuharski, who most likely will play goal today in the AAA championship for Erie Cathedral Prep. They use that size very well in the butterfly. Backhander deflected as Virag took it, and it pinballed around. I don't think it ever got. It did get onto the net as Grande is credited for a save, but cleared away by Bayard-Rustin. They get it to the blue line, and now they'll get it out to center ice. And it finds the stick of Kyle Mullen. Mullen puts it in front. Oh, he almost made a great pass to Sherrico, but it hit the heel of Sherrico's stick. Eric Flynn, left circle, fires it through the crease for Bayard-Rustin. Kept in. Good job to go down to his knees by Matt Wittes to keep the puck in at the right point. Puts it into the right corner for Kyle Mullen. Mullen loses it. Coretta's checked, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a penalty.
I believe it's going to be against the Knights again, as one of the Panthers was buried in his own zone. As I believe that was Coretta that went down hard as he's going to skate over to the bench. Should be a cross check.
Into the penalty box goes Kyle Mullen. Another man advantage opportunity for Franklin Regional. It'll be their 6th. This one comes at the 15:57 mark of period number 2.
4th penalty of this frame against the Knights. Usually that's a recipe for disaster, but the penalty kill has been very, very sharp. And Franklin Regional, especially on the back end of almost 2 consecutive power plays, just couldn't generate anything. That last minute or so of the man advantage was really a dismal effort. Franklin Regional needs to get some momentum heading to the intermission, just less than a minute away.
Through the Flyers Cup playoffs, Bayard-Rustin was 9 of 12 killing penalties, so they've killed off 14 of 17 so far, including 5 of 5 in this one. They forced the puck the length of the ice. The Panthers have to go back in their own zone to set it up. Rafferty gets a return pass up the left wing side, but he skated off the puck by the Golden Knights. And they're in their own zone. The Panthers will set it up in the neutral zone with 20 seconds to go in the period. We'll go by that clock. A minute 15 to go on the man advantage. Centering pass. Clearing the front of his net was Matt Wittes. And it's out of the zone. Christie with speed comes down the left side. He'll dump it back. Not looking for an opportunity. Trying to kill the penalty. Intercepted by the Panthers. 2 seconds to go. With speed. Gismondi right side. Cannot shoot it as he gains the zone as the horn sounds. It was Bayard-Rustin leading 2-0 after 1. And after 2, it is Bayard-Rustin leading this game by a score of 3-0. We'll take a break. Back with our between periods recap from the Pegula Ice Arena. Right after this, you're listening and watching the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Championships. Coverage is right here on the MSA Sports Network.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Management Science Associates Incorporated, MSA, is a world leader in developing analytical software and information-based systems. With over 850 employees and nearly 40 years of uninterrupted growth, MSA specializes in data management and data warehousing, business analysis, media services, custom workflow integration, and enterprise resource planning systems. MSA wishes all of tonight's players good luck. Visit MSA at www.msa.com.
Make sure to follow the MSA Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, links to our articles, and much more. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MSA Sports and get in on the conversation with thousands of local sports fans. Follow us on Twitter at MSA Sports and check out our YouTube channel, MSA Sports WPIHL, for hundreds of video interviews with local student athletes, game highlights, and more. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account, and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
And we welcome you back to the Pegula Ice Arena between the second and third periods of the Pennsylvania Cup in Class A. It is Bayard-Rustin leading Franklin Regional by a score of 3-0 with Sean Meyers. I'm Bob Orkwis on the MSA Sports Network. We're on camera. Interesting contrast between our jackets, as you went with the the hometown, Penn State, and you're an alumni, so you can. I'm supporting the Pit Colors. We talked about a contrast in the pregame, Sean. A team in Bayard-Rustin that's been here, going for their third straight state championship against Franklin Regional, their first ever appearance, and the Panthers trail 3-0. And the big story in the first two periods is, to date so far, with a pending 57 seconds on the power play, has been the special teams.
Yeah, the Panthers have not been, they've had ample opportunities with the man advantage, but to this point have not been able to really accumulate much on those power plays, and the shot totals are certainly not impressive with the man advantage. Give a lot of credit to the Knights. They've done a great job, and when need be, they've gotten a saves from Grande, but I think it's more so the Panthers have just not found the open space. Their passes have been a bit off. They haven't been able to get the puck to their game breakers, and maybe just a case of gripping the sticks a bit too tight. We wondered how the team would come out on this stage, and you look at the leading goal scorers, the leading points producers, a lot of those guys have been very, very quiet. As Virag has been good in this game. I think he's been the best Panther in terms of their forwards. He's been a little bit dangerous, but the other guys like Morrow that had the hat trick, Coretta who had the hat trick in the championship, they haven't been able to put much in terms of offense together. On the other side for the Knights, they get the power play goal in the first period. That was a big one, and I think they got a lot of momentum from that. And
they get the power play goal moments after killing a penalty.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a matter of cashing in on those opportunities. Again, you look at the shot clock, 20 shots for Bayard-Rustin, 18 for Franklin Regional. There's not much of a difference there. Offensive zone time, I don't think there's a big disparity between these teams either, but it's just about cashing in those opportunities and having players step up. And we talked about the game breakers not necessarily being at their best for Franklin Regional. Well, Christie, the go-to option for Bayard-Rustin, he has a goal, but another guy like Matt Owens, who I have both the playoff and the regular season stats for the Knights. 0 goals all season. He has 2 here today, and the second one, he looked like a prolific goal scorer on that breakaway. So that speaks to the depth of the Knights, and for Franklin Regional, they need all hands on deck in this third period. As you mentioned, they will start with that carryover power play for nearly a minute's time. I think it's critical that they get some good momentum, and obviously they want to get a goal to make this much more manageable. The other thing is they're going to have to make sure they can take some chances without leaving their goalie out to dry, because when you're down by 3 goals against a team that's really doing a nice job on the defensive end like the Knights are, the Panthers are going to need some of their D to cheat up a little bit, try to jump up and create some odd man advantages, which they really haven't had. But the other way, they want to make sure that their freshman goalie has an opportunity to make some saves and make sure that the Knights stay at 3 goals.
On the other thing, on the third goal, is similar to the first goal we talked about. Franklin Regional had a chance on the power play. It's killed. They go to the penalty box. And then 10 seconds afterwards, it's 1-0. It's 2-0, and the Panthers have a great chance down low, chance to make it 2-1. Next thing you know, here comes Owens on a breakaway, back the other way. And instead of being 2-1, it's 3-0.
Yeah, Grande was down on the ice. He was really, after making a nice initial save, he was out of position. And if one of the Panthers was able to just skate in and didn't have to be a perfect shot, just get some good wood behind it, I think they might have been able to get it into the back of the net. Could not do that. And as you mentioned, it came back the other way, in large part because one of the blue liners for the Panthers wanted to step up. Yeah. He wanted to get a shot on goal, knowing that Grande was not in position. Wasn't able to get the wood to the puck, and as a result, it led to the opportunity for Owens the other way, and he did cash in, taking advantage of those opportunities, because for the most part, I don't think there's been great offensive zone pressure for either team. It hasn't been just peppering the goalies, which is exactly what the Panthers had to withstand against South Fayette. That hasn't been the game plan here for Bayard-Rustin. It's been capitalizing on those rare chances, been more times than not forcing the Panthers to go the length of the ice, getting the puck deep without icing it, making Franklin Regional play 200 feet.
3-0 Bayard-Rustin through the first 2 periods. Sean Meyers has the scoring recaps from periods 1 and 2.
Yeah, 2 goals in the opening stanza for the Knights. Matt Owens gets his team on the board unassisted, that coming with 8:05 left in the opening stanza. That on the man advantage, it makes it 1-0 in favor of Bayard-Rustin. Goal number 2 also comes in the first period with just 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the frame. Brett Christie, who is the leading goal scorer through the Flyers Cup, he gets on the board. Derek Samedi and Tommy Sloan pick up the helpers. Both those goals right in front of the cage, right in front of the blue paint in the crease in front of Soltis, the freshman netminder. That was the score at the end of 1 period of play. It was 2-0. Shots in that opening stanza were 9-6 in favor of Bayard-Rustin over Franklin Regional. Period number 2, the goal we alluded to, Matt Owens, the breakaway unassisted. That coming 1 minute and 52 seconds into the stanza. That makes it 3-0. The shots in period number 2 They were 11 for Bayard-Rustin, 12 for Franklin Regional, so the Panthers have made it just a 2-shot disparity on the board. It's 20-18 in favor of the Knights through the first 34 minutes of play, but the shot clock doesn't matter as much as the goal clock right now, 3-0 in favor of the Knights.
I see a vintage sweater down in front of us, a Mario Lemieux sweater. I like that much better than the Wayne Simmons jersey across the way, although there's a Gretzky LA Kings jersey across the way. That's kind of neutral, depending on your perspective in Pittsburgh. I think it's been enough years that the Lemieux versus Gretzky grudge is over.
It's never going to be fully over.
Correct. You can't really get rid of that. Let me ask you this. 57 seconds to go on this power play for Franklin Regional. They'll get a fresh sheet of ice to start the third period. Do the Panthers need to score in this power play?
You don't want to say yes and then write the team off if they don't score, because that's certainly not the case. But the big thing we talked about is, can the team, it would be great and ideal for them to score, obviously. Can they generate momentum where even if they don't score, they will carry the play for the next few minutes? Because we talked about before, the power plays, they kind of just didn't get sustained pressure, and as a result, once Bayard-Rustin got back to even strength, the Panthers didn't really have anything to show for it, and they didn't drive the play after that. It's going to be important for Franklin Regional to control the play, at least for the first 5 minutes of this frame, and put a little bit of pressure on the Knights, because Bayard-Rustin has had a comfortable lead and really hasn't had to sweat too much, with the exception of a few good chances early in the second period, and the Panthers, of course, did ring one off of the crossbar. That could loom large, as you mentioned, that net front scramble that ultimately led to a goal the other way. Those have been the only really golden opportunities for Franklin Regional in this game. And one recipe that I would look for, we've seen Bayard-Rustin do it a lot, get multiple bodies in front of the goal. Even if you don't get the initial shot to go in because of a screen, try to get a rebound opportunity and see if the Panthers can maybe generate some shots from the points. We've seen some of their defensemen calling for passes, in particular Gizmondi. Get it back to him if he's open. Let him blast one through, even if it doesn't make it all the way through the cage. See if the Panthers can pounce on a rebound in front. That's how Bayard-Rustin was able to get their first two goals. Came with maybe a combined 10 feet away from the cage, their first two tallies.
Before we take a break, and we'll down in situations like this, I try to break it into halves or thirds. So if you're looking maybe 5.5, 6 minutes for Franklin Regional to get into the lead, and then you score a goal in that middle third, and then you work your way back, you're within one goal. And in the final third, you hopefully tie it out. Now, of course, if you'll take as many as you can get if you're Franklin Regional, but that's how, from my perspective, I'd like to break things down, with the Panthers trailing the Golden Knights by a score of 3-0 after the first two periods. We're going to take a break, back with the third period right after this. You're listening and watching the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Hockey Championships. Coverage is right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice Center, offering the most comprehensive instructional programs in the area, including hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes for all ages and ability levels. Classes start soon, along with senior and developmental hockey leagues. Mount Lebanon Ice Center also hosts Friday night teen skates and Friday after-school skates for younger children. Birthday party packages also available. Mount Lebanon Ice Center, serving the South Hills for more than 35 years. Call 412-561-4363 or go to mountlebanon.org.
Own your piece of hockey history with a Penguins game used jersey. Visit J&J Distributing at www.jjdistributing.biz and check out one of their largest selections of Penguins game-worn jerseys from your favorite Pens, past and present. Or call 724-752-1556. J&J Distributing buys, sells, and trades some of hockey's most prized possessions, including the Penguins game-worn jerseys, Penguins practice jerseys, minor league jerseys, and new and game-used equipment. Browse their inventory today at www.jjdistributing.biz.
Welcome back to the Pegula Ice Arena. Sean Meyers, Bob Orkwis on MSA Sports. 3-0 lead for Bayard-Rustin over Franklin Regional in the PIHL Class A Championships. And we have been informed who the elusive number 53 is. And we apologize. Hayden Karnick is wearing number 53 for Bayard-Rustin. For the Golden Knights, 2 goals for Matt Owens, 1 for Brett Christie for this 3-0 lead. So looking back over the notes, Brett Christie has had a goal in each of the 3 state championships over the last 3 seasons for Bayard-Rustin. He scored a goal as a sophomore in a win over Quaker Valley and scored the game-winning goal as a junior last year in the win over Meyers.
Got some Enter Sandman here to set the tone for period number 3.
James Fullington in the house, maybe?
Possibly.
Jason Grande goes into the pipes to our right. Danny Soltez in the net to our left. So the Panthers, with 57 seconds to go, start period number 3 with the man advantage, but they are 0 for 5 so far skating on the power play. They get an opportunity after winning the face-up. They'll come into the zone. Jamie Morrow, good wrist shot as he was moving left to right, but he missed the net. Puck to the left point. Rafferty front. Oh, sneaky deflection by Morrow. That just missed the near post. Cleared by the Knights. Back to center ice. Christie trying to pick the pocket of Rafferty. Rafferty comes down the right side. Gains the zone. Oh, he had room. He tried to pull it around the defenseman, Straczynski, and he did, but he lost control of the puck. Virag has it come off of his stick, and it's cleared up and out. Back to center ice. Brett Christie down the off wing. Right side falls down, tries to put it across near side to Straczynski. Couldn't do it. Jamie Morrow counterattacks 2-on-2 with Virag. Virag, top of the right circle, dumps it in as the penalty is over. And back on the ice comes Kyle Mullen. A celebratory horn as the penalty is over. 0 for 6 now in the man advantage, Franklin Regional. That wakes a few people up, regardless if it's a goal or not. Through center ice comes Justin Gismondi. Drop pass. It was actually poked off a stick. Oh, but that was scary as Bennett put it up. And I think the last second, Grande knocked it away from the crossbar. That looked way more dangerous than it should have been. 2-on-1 down low, walking in, stopping, turning, and stick handling. In the phone booth was Lucas Christie, but he couldn't get a shot on the net. Matt Wittes down the right side. Dumps it in behind the cage. Played by Lucas Christie. Christie on the near side, Eric Flynn puts it in front. And it's played away from in front of his own net by Ethan Bennett. Panthers can't clear the zone. Morrow turns and clears, kept in at the left point. On the skate of Connor Laps. Beyond the net. The forecheck for the Golden Knights. Franklin Regional clears it up. Morrow out of the zone. Good stretch pass. Into the zone. Wrist shot. High and wide it went by McIntyre. From the right circle. He missed to the left side. Intercepted by Matt Owens looking for the hat trick. Owens knocked the man down. So he threw out a good check, and now he's on the near side with a check. And down the near side with that big size, Joel Shiriko. Oh, he tried to go backhand, forehand down low, but he couldn't turn over. And then he's knocked off his skates by Brendan Mezer. And we should have a face-off in the Franklin Regional Zone. We are 2:31 into the third period. It remains 3-0, Bayard-Rustin.
Panthers have had a few better chances in this period, but a couple of times we saw them just miss high over the cage when they came in, and it's imperative that Franklin Regional get pucks on net. They could not have errant shots as the officials huddling up. A lot of players.
Shiriko's injured, I think, after
he went pretty hard into the goalpost.
Post. He did. They're going to bring the trainer out to take a peek, and that's one of the situations. It looked like he hit into it with a sty, which would be the Charlie horse type deal. Hopefully it's up higher. You don't want to see anyone smash their knee into the goalpost. He is down on the knee, but he's not putting a lot of pressure on that right leg. Now he is. So it would seem to me that Joel Shiriko is going to be okay.
Yeah, kind of has it turned to the side a little bit as he's making his way off. And this is now a luxury somewhat for Nicholas Russo, the head coach. We have a 3-goal lead. I don't need to put him back out there if he's not going to be 100%. As he probably has enough faith in the rest of the team. But we'll see if Shiriko's able to go back out there or not. He probably wants to get back out there on the ice and be an active part if his team is able to hold on and win the championship.
Dumped into the Franklin Regional Zone. By the way, you mentioned head coach Nick Russo. He's been a head coach for 30 years. Not all at Bayard-Rustin, but he's been a long-time head coach. I want to send belated condolences that his father passed away in October, right at the beginning of the season for Bayard-Rustin. There's a shot by Hayden Karnick that was blocked, so our condolences out to the Russo family and especially Nick Russo. He talked about, though, thinking that his dad is watching from up in heaven. And seeing Bayard-Rustin trying to three-peat with 13:35 to go in this third period, leading 3-0. Hayden Karnick comes down the near side. He falls down, and then he was knocked off his sticks by Bartefe. I think he fell before Bartefe got a piece of him. The Golden Knights fans wanting a penalty call. Karnick, by the way, has scored a point in each of the 3 Flyers Cup playoff games, a pair of assists in the quarterfinals. He had an assist in the semifinals and scored a goal in the finals. As down the near side, centering pass from Lucas Christie. Center point, Rister. Straczynski stopped by Soltesz. Puck is played behind the net. And if you're Bayard-Rustin, you'll take this, protecting a 3-goal lead. The more offensive zone possession you have, regardless if you're generating shots or not, Sean, is a way to protect that lead.
Yeah, you make Franklin Regional, we've said it before, go the length of the ice, go all 200 feet. And that was the game plan way back in the first period when this game was scoreless, and it continues to be the game plan here in the third period, protecting that 3-goal advantage.
Lucas Christie steals, comes down the left wing side for Bayard-Rustin. And in his own zone, Morrow tries to play it, but pinched and kept alive by Eric Flynn. The senior for Bayard-Rustin dumps it behind the net. The Golden Knights have it. They center it, but no one is home. Does come to the high slot, now to the right point. Turning and trying to shoot it was Derek Samedi, the captain. He did get it towards the net. We're going to get a whistle and a cross-check. And I believe this is going to be a Franklin Regional penalty, which would put the Golden Knights on the power play for the 3rd time in this game.
We said that Franklin Regional needed to, if not get a goal, at least have the better of the play in the first 5 or 6 minutes, and that really has not been the case. It's been even, or maybe even a little bit in favor of the Knights, and now Bayard-Rustin going to the man advantage. They could put the nail in the coffin right here if they can get a goal.
Justin Gizmani cross-checking at 5:51. 1 for 2 with the man advantage are the Golden Knights. Karnick walks off the right wing boards. His wrist shot blocked by Rafferty. Puck comes to the right point. Samedi skates to the center point. Back to Karnick, top of the right circle, tries to slide it down low. He pushes it to the near boards. Comes all the way to the left wing, and a good job to use his size. He walks off the goal line. It's in front. The puck is following Hayden Karnick. He gets it back, but he can't shoot it. Slap shot is blocked in front. Slapper taken by Bresnicki, and good deflection by Sloan, but he deflects it into the meshing. That's going to bring the face-off outside of the zone. Boy, am I glad we found out that Hayden Karnick was wearing 53 instead of 9, because he deserves some credit. Good job to possess that puck on this man advantage for Bayard-Rustin.
And he's going to stay out there.
Now, was that there before that penalty time, or did I just miss it?
It was not up
on
there
the big
before.
board.
No,
because I had been looking to the left corner. So thanks. I'm not crazy. Well, maybe a little bit, but kept in at the far point by Christie, and now Samedi. Samedi winds. He's open. He's got speed. He comes to the left side. He's open. He fires a good glove save by Soltesz. Rebound again on the third one is put in by Tommy Sloan. Just too many opportunities for the Golden Knights, and Sloan has the power play goal. It's 4-0 Bayard-Rustin.
Soltesz made a terrific initial save, got the rebound opportunity at first, but he couldn't cover up. The Panthers could not clear it, and the third try works for Bayard-Rustin. Second power play tally of this contest, and that one could be a backbreaker for Franklin Regional.
Sloan, his third of the playoffs, comes on the power play, and he was denied on the first 2 opportunities by goaltender Danny Soltesz, but just too many opportunities, and Sloan finally puts it in. It's actually Brett Christie. I apologize. I thought Sloan had it, so it's 2 for Christie. Sloan does get the assists. Samedi gets the other helper. So Samedi has 2 points. Sloan has a pair of assists. And apologies to Brett Christie is 8th. So Sloan was just keeping it alive for Christie to get the power play goal. his second of the game, 8th goal of the playoffs. Wrist shot from Franklin Regional misses the net by Thomas Rafferty. After this game, Sean and I choose the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game. Bayard-Rustin has candidates. Owens has 2 goals. Christie has 2 goals. Sloan and Samedi each have a pair of assists. And Grande so far has been perfect in goal. In his own zone, the play, Evan Greenberg. I didn't really see Sloan at that right post or Christie at that right post, but he got the last stick on it. Good job by Soltesz. You want to make the initial save, and he made, Sean, not only the initial save, but 2 more after that.
Yeah, he did all he could do. It's just a matter of you need the penalty killers in front of you to get the puck out, and ultimately Franklin Regional has just been the slower team to the puck in this third period, and I think they are starting to wear down a bit.
Virag had a wrist shot from the right circle, stopped by Grande. Virag re-enters the zone, attacking down the right wing side for Franklin Regional. Puck is tied up in the right corner. Played away by Greenberg to the right side from the left side. And gets it up and out. They take a second effort, and Greenberg did get it back to center ice. Onto the stick of Brendan Mezzer. He dumps it in. Connor Laps will play behind his own net for Bayard-Rustin. Virag, though, keeps it in with a skate on the right wing half boards. Dumped in by Jamie Morrow. On the goal line, the right goal line is Virag. He can't play it cleanly. Comes to the right point, skating in by Mezzer. He dumps it in beyond the net. First person there, though, is Evan Greenberg for Bayard-Rustin. As we wind down to 8:50 to go in the third period, Bayard-Rustin leading 4-0. That should have been a hold, don't you think?
That's certainly some physical defense behind the cage.
Flynn had the free hand. It works for an opportunity down low as Jamie Morrow skated out on the backhand, but he was denied by Grande. Virag to the point, although trying to come in was Mezzer, and the pass went the other way. Lucas Christie comes down the right side, but he's beaten to the puck by Franklin Regional. The Panthers are close to turning it over as Sloan was on the forecheck, and now it is turned over, but Christie couldn't get it past a fall-in player. I believe that was Dakota McIntyre. Wrist shot! Score! Hayden Karnick! High slot! 5-0 Golden Knights.
That was a 2-on-1 for the Knights, and I think maybe Soltesz was thinking just for a half second that pass might go across, but instead Karnick ripped a wrist shot from distance, and he got a heck of a lot behind that, just underneath the crossbar over the glove side. That makes it 5-0, and I said maybe Franklin Regional is wearing down, not so much physically, more so mentally, because it's tough when you're down 3 goals, and then it becomes 4 goals late in the third period. You start to see your hopes really fade away.
Second goal of the playoffs, Hayden Karnick, the twisted wrister from the high slot, an unassisted goal at 8:55, 5-0 Bayard-Rustin, and the Golden Knights are 7 minutes and 50 seconds away from three-peating as the Pennsylvania Cup Class A champions.
I believe, if I'm correct, maybe Kevin heard, did they get Sloan on the back end for that assist? I want to say that I heard Sloan's name announced, and if that is true, that would be his third helper of this contest. We'll see if we can get that squared away, but you look at Karnick has had a very impressive performance, especially here in the third period, and Christie, all the big-time players have stepped up in this contest for Bayard-Rustin, and really you have to give credit to the defense, the back end, and the goalkeeper, as well as you mentioned. Grande hasn't been tested a lot, but ultimately he's made his saves when he's needed to.
Here's Karnick, 3-on-2, dumps on the left side, cuts between the circles, still stick-handing, down low, almost an opportunity in front for Christie to get the hat trick, and we're going to get the net comes off its mooring. So Karnick, Christie, and Sloan have all scored in all 4 playoff games as far as the Flyers Cup playoffs and the championship for the Golden Knights, and it is the assist to Tommy Sloan. So good ears. Thank you, Kevin, for verifying that.
And when you look at
the 3 assists for Tommy Sloan.
Regular season leading points producers, Christie, Sloan, Karnick, 3 of the top 5, they've come to play here this afternoon.
Flynn on that list is the one he has not scored in this game, but those guys have done a good job. And Sloan and Christie over the past couple of years have been 2 of the bigger guns for Bayard-Rustin, and they have performed here this afternoon.
And Christie, Sloan, Karnick, those are the top 3 points producers in the 3 Flyers Cup games for the Knights as well.
Franklin Regional wins an offensive zone faceoff, but coming in to take the puck away was John Bresnicki for the Golden Knights. Matt Owens, who has a pair of goals in his own zone, leaves it there for Eric Flynn, the senior, and he clears the zone icing against the Golden Knights with 6:57 to go. By the way, as far as Class A, Bayard-Rustin, barring the miracle comebacks of all comebacks, will join Bishop McCourt, and Bishop McCourt leads the way. They won 4 Class A state championships from 1994 to 1997, but the Golden Knights are the first team since Sarah Catholic, or will be the first team to win 3 straight since Sarah Catholic in Class A, 2000 through 2002. Also in that stretch, Bethel Park won 3 in AAA. There's a shot down low, missing the net by Flynn. The Blackhawks won 3 AAA championships in 2000, 2002. Meadville, they lead the way. They won 5 state championships in a row from 92 through 96. In Class AA, Thomas Jefferson won 3 from 98 through 2000. And the most recent team to win 3 Pennsylvania Cup championships happened in Class AA, as Latrobe won 3 titles from 08 through 2010.
Yeah, and when we get a stoppage here, we go in a little bit more detail as far as hockey's slightly different than some other sports. It's not necessarily based on the enrollment numbers at the schools as far as the classifications. That does play somewhat of a factor in it, but Franklin Regional, a AAA or Quad A team for most sports, they're playing Single A, a team that actually moved down from AA. 2 years ago, the Panthers had all sorts of struggles playing in AA. They dropped down, they make the playoffs, they had a great turnaround a year ago, and obviously they took the next step this year, getting to and winning the Penguins Cup. So this is a great achievement nonetheless for the Panthers, but a lot of these Philly teams have significant advantage in terms of enrollment numbers over their Penguins Cup opposition.
Jamie Morrow down the left side out of his own zone. Good job to curl and drag in front. Virag down low, save. Rebound dump to the net by Nick Coretta. Stopped by Jason Grande. Grande has made 22 saves on all 22 shots he has faced here this afternoon. 26-22, the shot totals favoring the Golden Knights. They lead this game 5-0. As the boss plays in the background.
And the fans for Bayard-Rustin showing their support.
I'm drawing a blank on the name of that song.
Born to Run?
Born to Run. I wanted to tell you that, just a total trivial note, not related to hockey, that for a while there, that was up to be named the state song for the state of New Jersey. But you should really, I'm glad they said no, although Brusoff was, of course, a native New Jerseyan, but you should listen to the lyrics before you want to vote that song, as good as it is, as your state song. Puck is played an offside against the Golden Knights. No, they tag up, so the whistle doesn't blow. 4:40 left in the third. 5-0 lead for Bayard-Rustin. Puck is played into the Knight zone. Ian Straczynski back to play. He'll come near side onto the stick of Owen McDougal. McDougal, they try to come up the opposite side to Sloan on the left wing. A stretch pass was intercepted. Played off the skate of Rafferty. Brett Christie looking for the hat trick. Comes down the right side. Good job on the gap by Bartafay to deny. Christie near side, slides it. That's on the stick of Laps. Laps put it down behind the net. Panthers try to clear, and they do. Good outlet, but can't be controlled cleanly by Bartafay.
Silver lining for the Panthers is, even though it looks like they're going to fall short here in the Pennsylvania Cup, looking at the roster, there is very few seniors on this team for Franklin Regional. The vast majority of their standouts, including their terrific goaltender, will be back for next year, and for some of those players for the next 2 or 3 years. As you look at guys like Morrow, he's got another year of eligibility left, and of course we talk so much about Soltesz being just a freshman. It looks like in this postseason he's really come into his own, and I think you can pencil him in as one of the top goaltenders in Class Single A the next few years going forward.
Yeah, their leading scorers, Varag, the freshman. Morrow's a junior. Payon will graduate, but you've got Soltesz back there as we're down to about 3 minutes to go in this third period. For Bayard-Rustin, their seniors, this will be 3 state championships in 4 years, but juniors and sophomores and freshmen on this team this year, they've known nothing but success. So they are a definite Eastern power in hockey in the state of Pennsylvania. Shot blocked, 2-on-1 as Christie has it. Christie near side, wrist shot, score! Christie to Matt Owens. Owens has the HT, and that puts a cherry on the Sunday for the Golden Knights. 6-0 Bayard-Rustin.
And what a shot by Owens. As we mentioned, he wasn't a goal scorer all season long, but his second goal, the breakaway tally, and this one, he puts it off the crossbar and in, and Soltesz really had no chance on that one. 2-on-1, perfect shot, and as you mentioned, the icing on the cake, and this is a day that Matt Owens is never going to forget in his lifetime.
He wasn't a goal scorer coming into today, but he certainly is playing one today as he gets the hat trick. He scored a beautiful breakaway goal in the second period, and now he gets the hat trick goal off a turnover, a block shot, and Brett Christie a great pass from the right wing to the left wing, and Owens with a great snapper to make it 6-0 Bayard-Rustin. Down the right wing comes Evan Burke.
Just unbelievable for Owens. I had to double check to make sure. He had 5 points in the regular season, all assists.
How many games did he play of the regular season?
16.
So he played a majority of the games. There are a lot of teams injured, and much like in Western PA, travel hockey does not allow some of their teams to be full squads. So I wanted to check that number, but 16 is a pretty good number, as considering Bayard-Rustin came in with a 19-3-2 record, and now we're going to get a penalty, and this happens sometimes late in the game. Not happy and showing frustration is Nick Coretta for Franklin Regional, but he's not going to get the penalty. They're pointing to the bench, and they're going to pull someone off the Franklin Regional bench. It's going to be Jamie Morrow.
I mean, a trip, I believe they indicated.
Morrow for tripping at the 14:58 mark. It'll put Bayard-Rustin on the power play for the 4th time. They're 2 for 3 with a man advantage, and they've killed off all 6 of the Franklin Regional power play attempts. That's one of your storylines here today for Bayard-Rustin, leading at 6-0.
We'll see if maybe the Knights go to some of the more grinders, if you will, the reserve players on this man advantage.
Or do you try to get a hat trick for Christie?
They already got 1 hat trick to show for it, so.
Yeah, and how about Christie? He knew he had 2, but he passed it over to the freshman. Maybe a symbolic passing of the torch from the senior Brett Christie to the freshman Matt Owens.
We mentioned Christie. He certainly had his fair share of tremendous offensive performances in his storied career.
And 3 of them. He scored goals in all 3 of the state championships during his career here.
I believe this year he was the MVP of the Flyers Cup playoffs in Class Single A.
He's been in that conversation before as well for Bayard-Rustin. As with the power play, the Golden Knights shoot it long. Oh, that was a sneaky save with the right pad. Under a minute to go in this period and in the game. Down the near side, shorthanded, DeCesar walks in to the net, couldn't shoot it because of a penalty against Joel Sherrico. Sherrico called for hooking, and that's going to make the play 4 aside. This penalty comes at the 16-14 mark.
And you certainly hope that the mindset of Daniel Soltesz is not affected too significantly by this, because he had a tremendous Penguins Cup run. He was so good as one of the players being escorted off for Franklin Regional, and he is livid right now.
That's the Caesar.
The official has to do everything he can to get out of here, and he's all sorts of fired up as he's going to be escorted off the ice 46 seconds prematurely.
Fires his helmet as he comes down the runway, and I understand the frustration for Santino DeCesar, but that's not the way you want to end your career, your scholastic career, as he's a senior.
It's going to be a long trip back to Murraysville for these Panthers, but again, just consider how far this team has come in 2 years, and even though they're not going to win the Pennsylvania Cup, winning the Penguins Cup is going to be a lasting memory for these players. And again, they have a very bright future, this team does.
Yeah, I think that they'd be considered among the preseason favorites when we flip the calendar to later this year.
And we saw the top seeds fall.
We flipped the calendar already, Bob, so
well,
I'm not sure if that statement makes sense. We flipped the PIHL calendar.
There
How
we
about
go.
that?
Yeah, West Allegheny was one of the top teams. Freeport, Bishop McCourt, those teams did not make as deep of a run as they had hoped for. Instead, it was two underdogs in South Fayette and Franklin Regional.
Yeah, the Panthers were a 6 seed, and they won the championship. Here comes Christie looking for the hat trick. Coming out the poke check, it was Soltez, and Christie couldn't get a shot off. Puck behind the Franklin Regional net. 10 seconds away from a third straight state championship for the Golden Knights. We're down to 7. We're down to 5. The fans across the way. The players celebrate 2-1. It's 3 in a row for Bayard-Rustin.
Now they get the horn at the appropriately timed. There's piles of bodies, and truthfully, I understand the celebration. That's borderline dangerous with players going down everywhere. And when you got skates flying around, you always want to be careful. You don't want to tarnish the celebration, but that's pure jubilation for the Knights, and a nice round of applause right in front of us, the Franklin Regional fans showing their support for a historic season for the Panthers.
Bayard-Rustin wins their 3rd consecutive Class A Pennsylvania Cup championship. The final score, the Golden Knights 6 and Franklin Regional nothing. Back with the MSA Sports post-game show right after this, including the Management Science Associates 3 stars of the game. You've been listening and watching the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Championships right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Hey, Josh, I hear we have a new coach this season.
Oh, yeah? What do you know about him, Adam?
Well,
okay, guys, listen up. These 2 points are big tonight if we want to make the playoffs. We have to be good on face-offs. Remember your assignments. Be strong in our zone, get into the shooting lanes, and stay out of the penalty box.
Coach.
Keep the shift short.
Coach.
What?
There aren't 2 points tonight.
And the show has segments, not shifts.
Can I still yell at the refs?
Coach, you got to let it go.
Catch the PIHL Power Play Show with Adam Horner, Josh Roundtree, and new edition Kevin Zomansky every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on MSASports.net.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Who says you can only enjoy breakfast in the morning? And who says you can only enjoy it one type of way? At Dunkin' Donuts, breakfast is delicious any kind of way, any time of day. A breakfast craving can strike any time, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Dunkin' has the perfect combination of breakfast deliciousness to satisfy any craving. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant, ham, egg, and cheese on an English muffin. All your favorites anytime you want them. Stop by Dunkin' for breakfast anytime. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
One final time in the Class A Pennsylvania State Championship. Hockey game from the Pegula Ice Arena with Sean Meyers. Bob Orkwis says Bayard-Rustin. Been there, done that. 3 straight Class A championships for the Golden Knights as they defeat Franklin Regional by a score of 6-0. And they're just a tremendous program, Sean. And it showed today. They stuck to their game plan. It looked like to be a dump and chase kind of game plan. When they got opportunities presented their way, the Golden Knights capitalized to win the 3rd consecutive Pennsylvania Cup championship.
Again, you look at the first 17 minutes, period number 1, it was pretty even, but at the end of that opening stanza, it was 2-0 in favor of the Knights, and that has to be a little frustration for Franklin Regional. Then you get to period number 2. It looks like Franklin Regional's about to cash in, make it a 2-1 game. Can't finish. The other way, Owens comes, breakaway goal. It's quickly 3-0, and I think that was really the backbreaker. Because from that point forward, I think the latter stages of period number 2 and all of period number 3 was dominated by the Knights. I don't think they did dominate the early part of this game, but again, they capitalized on their opportunities. They got some timely saves, and on the other end, they were able to cash in around the cage. And I think Franklin Regional, which has been riding a high throughout this postseason in the Penguins Cup, just ran out of steam. In particular, their freshman goaltender, who I think got a little mentally fatigued at the end of this game, and it was just a landslide, an avalanche that the Panthers could not stop. You mentioned a dominant team, 3 consecutive championships now in the Pennsylvania Cup for the Knights, and once they got that commanding lead, they never relinquished it.
6-0 your final. Here is the scoring recap from this afternoon's contest.
Well, the first goal of the game comes with 8:05 remaining in period number 1. Matt Owens, his first goal all season, unassisted on the power play, makes it 1-0 in favor of Bayard-Rustin. Goal number 2 comes from Brett Christie, who had been the leading goal scorer all season long for the Knights. Out with 3:15 left in the stanza, Derek Samedi, Tommy Sloan pick up the helpers. That was the score at the end of the opening 17 minutes. In period number 2, Owens gets his second on a breakaway, unassisted. That coming with 15:08 left in period number 2. That makes it 3-0. That was the score as we headed to the intermission and back out for period number 3. But 3 goals by the Knights sealed the outcome in that third stanza. The first one with 11:14 left in the frame, a second power play tally. Brett Christie picks up his second of the contest. Tommy Sloan, Derek Samedi pick up the helpers. 8:05 left in the frame. Hayden Karnick gets his first. Sloan, another assist. That made it 5-0. And then Matt Owens finishes the scoring, getting his third for the hat trick. Brett Christie on the helper on the 2-1. That comes with just 2:40 left in this contest. Final score 6-0 in favor of the Knights, and the shot total also favored Bayard-Rustin, 28-22. It was 9-11 and 8 by period for Bayard-Rustin. For Franklin Regional, 6-12 and only 4 shots in the final stanza for their 22 shots.
2 for 4 for Bayard-Rustin on the power play. They killed off all 6 Franklin Regional power play attempts. The Bayard-Rustin, for the third straight year, they win the Pennsylvania Cup. And this time a 6-0 win. They defeated Quaker Valley 3 years ago 5-2. They defeated Mars last year 5-2, and they get the shutout this year 6-0 to win their 3rd consecutive Pennsylvania Cup championship. So kudos to that program for keeping it there at this level, Sean. But Franklin Regional, I know it stings, but really good things, I guess, a bright future ahead for Franklin Regional, winning their first ever Penguins Cup and now getting to the state championship.
And obviously you want to win the state championship, but for Franklin Regional, I think before the season, if you had told the Panthers, you guys will be hoisting the Penguins Cup trophy, I think they would have been absolutely thrilled with that outcome. And again, a lot of youth on the team, a lot of returning players, key players. They will lose some important seniors, but ultimately this is a team that's not going to have to start over from scratch for Franklin Regional. Even though they won't want to think about this outcome for the next couple days, it's going to sting. Just getting here is a great accomplishment and something the team should be very proud of. And knowing that you went against a team that, quite frankly, was the best team all season long in the state in the Class Single A classification, and a 2-time champion consecutively. The pedigree was there for the Knights, and ultimately the Panthers hung tight for about the first half of this game, but things really started to get away, especially in that third period. Final score is going to be 6-0, but ultimately I think it was a much closer game for the first 40 or so minutes of action.
You know, back in the day when you saw sticks and gloves and helmets scattered on the ice, that wasn't a good thing, but at this juncture, It is at any level, as the Bayard-Rustin Golden Knights are celebrating across the way here at the Pegula Ice Arena. Before we give you the MSA Sports 3 stars, I want to let you know that the win for the Golden Knights is their 20th. They're 23-2, 20 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties to finish out the season. Franklin Regional finishes the year at 19-7. Let's give the fans at home, our management, Science Associates, 3 stars of the game.
And we will begin with number 3. Well, first off, let's do an honorable mention for Bayard-Rustin. The goaltender, Jason Grande, had a strong performance. And obviously, anytime you get a shutout and leading your team to the championship between the pipes, you deserve at least honorable mention. So he makes 22 saves, and I think he was solid, but truthfully never had to be spectacular. I don't remember one or two good
The first save of the game,
yes.
It wasn't spectacular, but it was solid, because it could have been 1-0 less than 30 seconds in.
One or
but
two
outside
very
of that,
good
yeah,
saves.
Right, and 1 crossbar.
The rest were pretty common, basic saves. Obviously, you need your goalie to make those, and he did. So he deserves credit. So he's going to be the honorable mention. The number 3 star is going to be Tommy Sloan, who did not score a goal in this game, but picks up 3 helpers, and he was very instrumental in getting his team and his teammates in the right position and in putting the puck on the stick. He gets the primary assist twice, and he had the secondary helper on the Christie goal back in period number 1. So Tommy Sloan, star number 3. Brett Christie, we just mentioned him. He gets star number 2, had a pair of goals, also picked up a helper, the final goal of the game. He assisted on a 2-on-1. So Brett Christie, 2 and 1. He gets the number 2 star, and the number 1 star of the game, an unlikely source, Matt Owens. 3 goals, including goal number 1, the game winner, as well as what I think is the biggest goal and the biggest turning point of this game, the breakaway goal in period number 2 that made it 3-0, and then ultimately he finishes it off. The hat trick completed as he picks up the 6th and final goal on the 2-on-1. So Matt Owens, no goals in the regular season, no goals in the Flyers Cup, but in the Pennsylvania Cup, he comes up with 3 goals. What a performance, well deserving of the number 1 star for the management. Science Associates, 3 stars of the game.
Yeah, congratulations to Matt Owens, our management Science Associates player of the game. Our first game is done, but our coverage is far from over. Just a reminder, 2:30. It is the Class AA Championship game. Sean Meyers and Kevin Zomansky on the call as Bishop Canevin takes on Central Buck South. And then at 5 o'clock, Kevin and myself will be on the call of the AAA State Championship game featuring LaSalle College and Erie Cathedral Prep. Good thank you to Jess Levo running the camera. She will take care of that all day. Kevin Zomansky as well for running around and helping us out. To my partner, Sean Meyers, he'll be on the call the next game. Bob Orkwis saying, your final score from the Pegula Ice Arena. For the 3rd straight year, Bayard-Rustin is the Pennsylvania Cup Class A champion. The Golden Knights defeat Franklin Regional by a score of 6-0. Hopefully you enjoyed coverage, both video and audio, of the championship game here in the MSA Sports Network. Continue to listen to the rest of the games this afternoon. And from State College, Bob Work was saying, have a great afternoon. You've been listening to the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State Hockey Championships. Coverage has been right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Hit the ice at Mount Lebanon Ice.
You have been listening to exclusive coverage of the 2016 Pennsylvania Cup State High School Hockey Championships at MSASports.net. Sponsored by First Commonwealth Bank, by Carlow University, by ProGrass, by Dunkin' Donuts, by J&J Distributing, by the Mount Lebanon Ice Arena, by the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League, and by Management Science Associates. You can go back and listen to archive broadcasts of the Penguins Cup playoffs with all the results by logging on to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.